And we welcome you back into Cardinal Stadium along with Vic Holmes. I'm Matt Miller. Jason Colrick down on the sideline. He's got head coach David Walker coming up in just a moment. And back at the studio, Matt Crawford. He'll have highlights and scores coming up a little bit later on in our official Extra Point post-game scoreboard show. The Bulldogs breaking a relatively quick huddle at the end of this one, and Coach Walker is right now standing by with Jason.
I'm down here with Coach. Coach, congratulations on win number 4 on the season and 32 in a row at this point. Talk to me about tonight's performance from your team.
I thought we did, a good job. I thought we did what we were supposed to do. We were sloppy at times, but we started out a little sloppy, and then we got, some spurts, some areas that we were a little inconsistent. But overall, you beat somebody 56-0. I mean, you have to be pleased. So I thought our guys did a pretty good job.
Halftime, you mentioned the fact that the team was a little sloppy on offense, but you had 348 yards. Is it just a demand for perfection from you guys?
Well, the higher your expectations, the bigger the results you get. So I'm not going to be satisfied with making mistakes when we can clean them up. So I expect a lot out of them, and you expect this much, you might get this much, but it's still better than down here. So we just got to keep getting better. We still have a lot of room we can improve on and do some things. So, but overall, I mean, pretty good job.
First 3 games, you guys did a really good job with the running, and you guys did a good job tonight with running, but you were able to incorporate more of a passing game than the first 3 weeks. Talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, the weather was cooperated a little bit better as far as throwing the football, and they were giving us some things, and so we had to take advantage of it. We needed to work on it a little bit. So I thought both quarterbacks did a good job, did some good things. Up front, we did a pretty good job. We missed some assignments, some obvious things we need to fix. But, I mean, offensively, we just got to get the ball in the hands of our guys that can make some plays.
Defensively, this team is very stout. Again, doing a great job. Obviously, the shutout tonight.
Well, I mean, defensively, we're so fast on that side of the ball, and we've got some really great players, and our coaching staff does a great job. So, and we got some great players. So it starts, all those guys on the field are doing a great job, including these 2 here standing with us, Ricky and Grant. So we've got to continue to be great on defense, because we've got some tough ones coming up, and we're going to have great defensive efforts.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention that you seem like you're struggling a little bit with extra points and the kicking game. It almost is like you're playing rock, scissors, paper over here to see who's kicking.
Yeah, I mean, our kicker had a soccer game tonight because of the scheduling. So, and then he was injured last week. So hopefully, we get him back, and our kicking woes will be straightened out. So, but yeah, it's pretty ugly tonight. But, you score enough, it doesn't matter.
Coach, big game coming up next week, a long road trip against a team that potentially could also be undefeated. You haven't played them. What do you know about them at this point?
I don't know a whole lot about them. I know they got some really good athletes, got a good quarterback, and so we'll start working on those guys tomorrow. But we're excited for the opportunity to go up there and play in a hostile environment against a really good team. And our guys need to be challenged, so they'll be challenged next week.
Obviously, you moved this game up because of the potential of a hurricane. Now you've got a free Friday night during the football season that's not a bye week. What's Coach going to do?
I might take my wife out for dinner. I don't know. I've been neglecting her lately, so I probably ought to take her out and grab a bite to eat. Either that or I'll just go home and go to bed.
So for those of you that are not down here on the field, she just walked up at the same time that he said that, looked at her, and so I think he's promising you dinner tomorrow night.
She almost passed out when I said that. But I don't know. If there's an area game, I might I don't know. I'm not even sure who else playing. I might go watch a game, but, but our guys, we're going to come in and watch film tomorrow. JV's going to practice and try to get some work in, and then hopefully they have a good weekend to rest and get ready to regroup on Monday.
Well, Coach, I'm going to let you go because your wife is sitting there waiting on you. Congratulations, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, thank you guys.
Matt, it's not raining, so I'm going to take this opportunity to interview a couple of players. Both of them outstanding games, and both of them definitely will be considered for the player of the game. I'm going to start with Ricky Barrett. Ricky, defensively, you set the tone tonight early in the game, 4 sacks. Your 5th one got taken from you in an inadvertent whistle, plus a blocked punt, several opportunities. What did you see in tonight's matchup?
I mean, it was a competitive game, but practice, we just worked our butts off. Ran through their plays. I mean, I knew what they were running before they even ran it, so it's just one of those things that we come ready to play.
How much does it throw a team off of a rhythm having to move the game up 1 week so you're moving up your preparation to a day earlier?
I mean, it is different. Like, I mean, you're used to those Friday night lights, But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a game. It's still a sport. You got to come to play, or not come and play. Like, it's a game. You got to come and play.
Can throw you off your rhythm having to go to school tomorrow after a football game?
I might be a couple minutes late.
Hey, just for the teachers out there, he says he might be a couple minutes late. How excited are you to go out to, you've been here 4 years. You're now going to travel against a team that you haven't seen before in a hostile environment. Both teams could be 4-0. How good is that to have that kind of test early in the season?
Oh, I mean, I like it, especially before we play Sharando. I mean, we're going to do what we do every week, prepare and go out there and do what we do.
There you go, Ricky Barrett, definitely a candidate for player of the game. Now I'm going to move over here to Grant Does It All Harmon. Let's see, you threw for touchdown passes, you kicked, intercepted a pass, and what probably a lot of people don't know is last year you became the first player in West Virginia history to play in the football championship, the basketball championship, and the baseball championship. Never been done before. You must be enjoying your time as an athlete in Martinsburg.
There's nothing like it. I mean, the fans, like the support system that I have around the community is just something special, and that's just something I'm going to cherish forever. Especially as my last year, I was trying to soak it all in because there's no turning back after this.
How'd you end up becoming the kicker?
I can't lie. The past 2 years, I've just been like messing around with Coach Sherman, doing kicking and stuff, and then Catlett went down. He hurt his MCL, but I think he would have kicked tonight if he was at a soccer game. But he just told me to start kicking in practice, and we just went with it.
You were able to throw for touchdown passes, able to run the ball. What did you see tonight? Because probably the first 3 games you guys have been a lot more run-heavy than what you were tonight.
Oh, yeah, like Coach Walker said, the weather was horrific the past 2 games, so it was more difficult to throw the ball. Tonight, we basically just did a lot of game planning when looking at the defense before the play. I think Coach Sherman and Coach Fields did a great job calling plays up there in the box tonight. And then when you have the skill players like we have, it's just you get the ball to them, they can make plays in any time of the game.
How nice is it to have that kind of talent around you year in and year out?
It's something that's very special. When you got players, we got players that don't start as our receivers. That would be the best receiver on almost any team in the state, and that's something that you really love to have, especially as a quarterback.
And then you got what I would consider a 2-headed monster in Naeem and Grantham. I mean, as a quarterback, that's got to give you some comfort having those guys beside you back there to hand the ball off or act like you're going to hand the ball off to.
Yeah, you had Dwayne and Naeem. I mean, Naeem's just been a freak of nature the past 4 games, and it's just been a pleasant surprise, actually. Dwayne's just doing his thing every game. I mean, you can't complain ever when it comes to him running the ball. When I'm back there and I just say I mess up, I know I got someone beside me that can pick me up in the next play.
Obviously, your senior year, what's the dream for you? How would this season end, and it would be the perfect senior season?
Of course, just winning all 3, having 3 more rings on my finger in basketball, baseball, and football.
Pretty special thing to say that you've played in those championships. And now, when I say that, other people have done it, but they've done it over different seasons. You did it all in one season. How special was that as an athlete to say that you played in the football state championship, the basketball state championship, and baseball, same year, same school?
After our baseball season, I kind of just took a step back and just realized what I accomplished through the season. I worked really hard, especially, football. Of course, that was just something really special. Basketball is just something that, we came up short, but it's something that we can use to fuel ourselves this year. Baseball is just a heartbreaking moment, but I wouldn't trade anything for it. I was 2 days away from not playing baseball, and Coach Zarnecki talked me into it, and it was probably the best decision I've ever made.
So what's better, throwing a touchdown, draining a 3, or hitting a home run?
I don't hit many home runs, so definitely throwing a touchdown.
You hit a lot of 3s, though. I know we've won a lot of games, and Harmon from the corner, I've seen it a lot. Hey, congratulations on a big win. Good luck next week, and enjoy the road trip.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go. Down here on the field, it's not raining. It was actually nice to be able to hear from some of the Bulldog players tonight.
There it is, Jason Colrick from the sidelines. Reports throughout the game brought to you by Mike Folk for State Senate District 16. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll run some of the numbers from this one as we continue on the postgame show. Brought to you by WVUH East, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, the best in healthcare close to home. Final tonight in this one, all Martinsburg as they shut out Spring Mills 56-0. Can Matt take it over back there? Here, let me. There he is. So he's coming back to us so he can talk. All right, time for us to take a look at some of the numbers from this one as we welcome you back into Cardinal Stadium. Vic, let's start with what the Bulldog defense did, because another impressive night on that side of the football. In the first half, 35 plays, 62 yards for Spring Mills. In the second half, 12 plays and just 6 yards and 2 turnovers, an INT for Grant Harmon and an INT late for Reese Duffy. You put it all together and it's 46 total plays for 68 total yards, 57 passing yards, and ultimately only 11 rushing yards. Spring Mills struggled to move the football, just 3 of 13 on third down conversions.
I really enjoyed what they were trying to do in the second half. I really did. I thought Spring Mills, I think the last series they had just before the half and what they were trying to do in the second half was more, I think, capable situation for them than what they were trying to do at the beginning of the game. They were trying to win the ball game in the first quarter by throwing all these bombs they were trying to throw and trying to beat Martinsburg deep. That's fine if you're in a situation where you have a game and you're going to it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be 50-48 at the end. You're not going to score that many points against Martinsburg, and even if you do score, you're giving it back to them very, very quickly, and they're going to score on you.